Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland, off it an exciting 1 vs 1 on Crossing in the Woods. The setting is 1944, somewhere around the Hürtgen Forest. The Americans here with the 14th Armored Division are trying to break through the German lines held here by Bsky Revolution and the 388th Volksgrenadier Division holding the line for Germany with Overwatch, Luftwaffe and Spec Ops, Double Infantry, 1 Sturmpanier versus Vonclausewitz, Rifle Company, Heavy Cavalry and Airborne with Triple Infantry. Bsky Revolution is ranked 83 with the Overwatch and Vonclausewitz is ranked 24 with the USF. We got barbed wire going down here as he pushes hard down west, and we can see that is where Bsky Revolution heading off as well, though with a cool Wagner up he might be planning a second pincer move, or second extension there towards the east, but he's not. He is going to focus on the west here, meaning we're going to see some early aggressive, possibly violent engagements here, as they're both going to be focusing on this small victory point in the southwest. Fulls there aiming for Bsky Revolution, relations there, continuing the wire work there. God damn it, why don't we get any gloves to deal with this barbed wire? Because we're re-echelon troops, Carl. That means we don't get anything except these carbines and this brown coat. Kuban Sturmbach joining up here for a small Sturmgruppe, and now we go recently caught here by the Sturmgruppe trying to lay down tank traps. They immediately thwarted in their attempts. The Sturmpanies advancing on the poor swords, so caught in active cover, which is really where you do not want to be caught versus assault rifle wielding Sturmpaniers. Well, it's either that and saying there's some small closet where you actually got nowhere to go. You do not want to be encountering someone with an assault rifle there either. Point there being seized in the east. Folks are moving up with the center. Third rifle on the way there for Vonclausewitz. Men bravely moving westwards there as Bsky Revolution is basically trying to slow down, harass, and just throw off Vonclausewitz as much as possible. Third route got there rounding back here. Nothing further going on there for Bsky Revolution. Point there being scored on the centre victory point. We've got variations for Volksgrenadier Sturmpans moving up. Variations are busy elsewhere, trying not to get shot by the Germans. We've got another counter-attack going in here. As he lines up his troops, he moves forward for Germany. Deutschland, the 388th Volksgrenadier Division. Others moving up there, shooting away at them as well, most merrily. Almost taking out the rifle squad, but not quite landing the finishing hit there. Fourth rifle squad on the way there for Vonclausewitz. He's going to push hard with the infantry. Relations there could find themselves being a bit cut off here. Bsky Revolution strikes hard. And there you go, Relations caught. They're crossing there to cover, but still looks like they're not taking enough downtime to get wiped and retreat. Pretty lucky there for Vonclausewitz, so they will need an ambulance and some first aid because they're in very poor condition, and the next encounter with the German army could very well be their last. I mean, obviously besides the guy who already died, in which case, you know, it was his last. Back here, nothing further going on for Bsky. Up here, Vonclausewitz has yet to commit to anything further here, except just lots of riflemen. He's going to push out against those crowds. Fuel point there being secured once more for the German army. Sturmpani is falling back. He could consider maybe some mines if he wanted to. Riflemen kind of far here from the Volksgrenadier. Shots being blasted, and we got Overwatch from Bsky. We got Overwatch. Trot on the way there, following up as well for him. Most likely, I'm guessing Battle Group Headquarters, though it could still be mechanized. He just doesn't have so much fuel to immediately get it up. So Battle Group Headquarters seems like the more likely guess from my side. Vonclausewitz remains, shall we say, a bit more hesitant than the doctoral game. Rifle flying away, Fulters are taking heavy damage. Need to fall back. Here in the east, Fulters grabbing territory very slowly. Kuban being dispatched to assist. As in the west, the 388th Volksgrenadier Division falls back in the face of the 14th Armoured Infantry Assault. Divisions there, busy up with some tank traps around the centre, possibly some mines actually, no tank traps. In the east here, Fulters with his riflemen. Brandhandgranate off, of course, signalling to Vonclausewitz that he's got a truck out at least. Of course, what kind of truck we don't know, though we do know he possibly set a rally point on the wrong spot. Oh wait, truck moved to a spot where it probably shouldn't be going. Right now the entire front is collapsing here for the German army as Vonclausewitz and his merry band of Americans advance victoriously for the most part. In the east, it's a bit of a less victorious retreat. It's not a retreat, it's a tactical displacement towards less hostile positions. And he does go for the mechanized regiment. Interesting. Not necessarily unexpected, but Part of me would have figured maybe battle group headquarters. Then again, he doesn't necessarily have enough infantry to really make that fully work. Could probably get away with that little infantry to pull it off. On top of Overwatch, it does certainly seem a bit funny. So we'll see what ends up with. Probably looks maybe a Puma. We'll have to see how Vonclausewitz reacts. He's going for the lieutenant, so he's either think he's going to just rely on bazookas or he's got something else in mind. In case of the looks, which is still very much common Oberkommando Westen meta. Forces advancing positions, so from opening up their forces firing back with their cannon TKs, the rifles singing out a dirge for any Americans that may or may not actually end up dying. Lieutenant out there for Vonclausewitz, having a lot more infantry in the field, of course, now in the Bsky Revolution. You got the 4 riflemen plus the lieutenant. Is a lot of infantry compared to the 1 Steel Punch, 3 Volksgrenadiers. Now they're certainly shifting quite aggressively within just the first few 6 minutes. MU-Fed following up for Bsky Revolution, a very good choice in these circumstances, considering that Vonclausewitz has a lot of infantry, he's playing it aggressively, a few machine guns here and there could do a lot. And with this, he knows A, his opponent's definitely got Overwatch, and B, if you didn't know that already, there's a mechanized regiment, so he's probably had opportunity to prepare for that. He's going for the anti-aircraft half-tech, which we're well supported. Can deal with the looks, though. Obviously, a few mines and bazookas could also do him really a lot of good. We'll have to see how he handles the Goliaths that Bsky Revolution will be tossing at him. Oh dear, it looks like Bsky Revolution isn't paying attention. It loses a full Volksgrenadier squad, quite a loss here in the early game. Quite a loss. 250 manpower dead. Goliath there being rolled eastwards. Half track on the way there still. Kuban running up to spot ahead here. Goliaths were generally used for blowing up obstacles. And I guess other things that get close enough. Replacement Volksgrenadier here for Bsky Revolution. Can soon go for the looks. Back here we got the anti-aircraft half-track out. No sign of the weapon racks there being unlocked for Vonclausewitz. No sign of mines either. Looks like he's basically going to hope the opponent tries to use that house at some point against Bsky Revolution, in which case he's just going to decimate the entire thing. Or maybe not, maybe not. But now it looks like he's kind of trying to creep up behind on the retreat path of Vonclausewitz with the Goliath, and that way murder some units trying to retreat. A bold idea, but it could be effective. Or maybe not. Maybe defending his car point. It's hard to determine here what Bsky Revolution is trying to do with it. Fortunately, strange to the anti-aircraft tactic, both squads are immediately being repulsed here by the severe firepower the half-track can unleash against the unsuspecting Volksgrenadiers. Down here, not much going on there for Bsky Revolution. Could be he might be planning a Puma instead of the looks here to deal with anti-aircraft half-track, though the looks can deal with it. It does take a bit longer. Weapon racks up for Vonclausewitz, promising plenty of arms for his riflemen. Does that mean we become barmen? No, Carl, you don't become a barman. Oh.
We're losing a capture point.
Point there secured, and he does go for the Puma. He does go for the 234-2, which was the specific name of it, sort of technically of it. Well, not the long full designation, but you know, Puma was just sort of a more official name. But always was 234-2. There was also 234-1, which was basically just with a 2cm autocannon, like the 222, and then you had the -3 and -4, which were equipped with either from the cannon or the PaK-40 mounted on top, not in a turret though. Forces getting blasted by the half-track, need to fall back. In the west there, harassment going on. No meet, you're forced to immediately counter-attack with. We've got the glass slowly creeping ahead there, looking for the right time to blow up into some Americans. Oh, yeah, he's going to get up behind the lieutenant. He's going to go for the retreat path. He's going to try and get a wipe here. Will Vonclausewitz be able to escape here? Oh, he's going to shoot it to bits. Got a bit too eager there and paid the price. Bunch of munitions there, dead on the floor. Bit of wasted, to be honest. They got Bonham going to head off right into the house. Good timing there, and Vonclausewitz runs straight for it. He took the bait. And there you go, Fulton's been flanked with the half-track, was then getting blasted. Puma there, waiting for the right time to try and strike the half-track. Got the bazooka team covering up the flank of the half-track. Very good. Plus rifle as well, meaning any sort of Puma just trying to rush in could find itself with a bit of a nasty surprise, but looks like he does go for it. At least he reconsiders once the bazooka rockets begin flying at his armoured car, which is certainly good. Back air reinforcement going on. Not much else still happening. Vonclausewitz though remains without a doctrine. It would seem he's a bit uncertain or hesitant in where to go against Bsky Revolution and the 388th Volksgrenadier Division. Of course, they're getting slowly played out by the riflemen. Back here, nothing further going on in the base, just troops awaiting reinforcements. Don't believe we're seeing any assault rifles going up there for Bsky Revolution. Vonclausewitz there with a bunch of BARs, even going for bazookas on some of the riflemen. And he does go for the look, so Puma looks here with Overwatch. I mean, he's got no armoured corners from the Command Panthers, so obviously going to have to go for the Strap Punted Quarters to get some armour. Bigger stuff here because long term, Puma looks is going to be a bit risky, but if well utilised in the early game, it can be quite impactful, obviously. So we'll have to see here how Bsky Revolution makes this work. Puma, though, so far landing one kill there with its main gun. Rifle covers shattered. Like some very expensive porcelain vase as it shatters against the floor. Bazooka team half-track moving up. The machine went up to try and flank here, cover up that. Looks almost done here for Bsky Revolution. Rifle actually being slowly bled out. Looks like he hasn't quite fully realised that the cover's actually gone. And there you go, troops suppressed. As the rest are dying out. Puma gets off another shot, but this time does not hit. Grabbing the far east fuel point. He's still falling behind, I think, Vonclausewitz in fuel, which is rather risky for Bsky. Rather risky. As Vonclausewitz can easily capitalise into fast armour if he wants to. But so far he is not quite fully inclined. We got the looks out here for Bsky Revolution. Armoured elements being dispatched from nearby Panzer Division to back up the 388th Volksgrenadier Division as the High Command realises that things are sharpening up in this sector. Slowly committing reconnaissance elements to back up the beleaguered 388th Volksgrenadier Division. Generally, there were sort of overall two major types of Volksgrenadier divisions, in a sense, those that were composed of the shattered elements of infantry divisions, and those that sort of formed up of, shall we say, shattered divisions, sort of divisions with very little personnel just waiting to be formed into a full division. And the shattered division was usually the ones that performed the worst because they really had no veterans to work off, whereas the Volksgrenadier divisions usually the ones that performed the best were the ones with the highest rate of veterans. That is, people who actually had some experience can pass it on to the rest of the troops, because the Volksgrenadier divisions in most cases got next to no training. Maybe a month if they were lucky, they sort of had to train fully. So a little fun fact there. Rather near the caught retreat, Luke's machine gun Volksgrenadiers, all sorts of hell are being unleashed, and we could see Wappy against Vonclausewitz, and there we go. A loss for America. Freedom, democracy. Glass spotted again. Bsky Revolution really wants those glass to work, but so far they're just not working out. Oh goodness, he actually... Oh, imagine if that had actually gone off the next to the house and the machine gun at the same time. He could have taken out both. That was incredibly risky for Bsky Revolution in an attempt to save the Goliath. Oh goodness. One hand grenade off, that doesn't have much of an impact there. Sturm Pioneer charging against the suppressed troops. In the far west we got some harassment going on. He could probably dispatch the Kuban to assist with that as well. We got repair pioneers up here for Bsky Revolution. I think a pretty good choice. Reason they're going for the Eastern Victory Point. Interesting enough, Vonclausewitz is still not taking up. Really could have been doing that soon, and there's still no doctor now for Vonclausewitz. Definitely think some opportunities here for Bsky Revolution to do some heavy damage. The ways are being blasted and basically take ahead. So far, I mean, he's still far behind there. Go from Clausewitz. Finally going for that attack. Finally. Looks Puma good to go here for Bsky Revolution and the 388th. When you put up the pressure, he might be able to do something with it. But there he goes, securing points in the west. Puma moving up, looking for Yankees to blast, and we got here the 50 cal being sent on his own. And there you go. Realizes all of a sudden that's a pretty bad spot to be in before it retreats. Far western point there being secured. Back here, nothing further going on there for Bsky Revolution and the German army. The fighting is actually so far calming down a bit. Nothing really happening between the two sides. All quiet on the western front. And there you go, take up done. Not too far from any tanks. Got another Goliath for Bsky Revolution. I do think you should just consider regular march. There you go, the Kupelwagen is down. I repeat, the Kupelwagen is down. The American shot it. Alert, Führer. Really? Nein, I'm kidding. Of course he doesn't want to hear about a Kupelwagen getting blown up. Oh, he's pushing for the cop. Stop keeping the Goliath so close to your own stuff, Bsky. Oh, goodness, he got the re-echelons, but he almost got his own men in the process. And he did get several. Back hit reinforcement healing. Luke's moving up. Second Goliath moving about. We got the 5th cover there being flanked by the Lukes. Major there covering the flank, but he can't really cover against a light tank. He lacks the bazookas. I mean, he can shoot his pistol and look all smart while doing it, but that's not going to determine the light tank. But, still no armor then, still no doctrine for Vonclausewitz. Fun fact, in 1945, the Germans actually had a Panzer Division with Vonclausewitz. Fun fact. Looks neat repairs, got the Sherman on the way there for Vonclausewitz, very good. He could have gone for Rifle Company, gone for DC, but at this stage, it's certainly increasing. Looks like he's aiming for Heavy Cavalry and a Pershing. Major Rifle moving up, the machine gun pursuing past flanking. We got the Goliath. Again, he really wants that Goliath to work out. And there you go, artillery called in by the Major. A bit of a problem here for Bsky Revolution's Eastern Force. Here in the centre force need to fall back. They're about to get wiped out by the Lieutenant. Lots of firepower there. Double bars plus the Thompson. That is a definite good chance they're wiping out something if you're not careful, and it did happen. Bsky Revolution can begin taking up there, which he definitely should, and he should probably go think for another Sturmpanier squad in the meanwhile. 8 up repair stuff, but also think just for a bit of extra firepower here and there. Over here, troops in reinforcing. Tech almost, or Sherman almost done there for Clausewitz and the 14th Armoured. Sherman sending out, and there go bazooka fire on the Lukes, forcing Bsky Revolution to pull back his Aufklärungspanzer. Now hit from the Sherman, they're almost taking him out. He's only got a Puma to stop the Sherman. Definitely Bsky Revolution here. We'll have to go, I think, for Raketenwerfer. Schwerpanzer quarters though is going up, which is wunderbar. Some Obersoldaten would actually be a pretty good investment. Light machine guns, of course, can have an impact on the American infantry, though. Still, I think he's going to need some anti-tank weapons to back up the Puma and get out some armor. But there you go, we got the Obersoldaten. Some more hardened veterans to support the 398th, or maybe some support from that Panzer Division. Certainly, either of those two are possibilities. Schwerpanzer force revealed, riflemen repulsed. Eastern field from there being harassed by the Major. Meanwhile, for Clausewitz's main forces basically hanging back before it looks like he's trying to sort of get it ready for a push. Trying to organise his forces properly. And we got multiple leather from Clausewitz, bringing up some artillery. Puma shoots, gets a glancing hit there on the Sherman.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Puma, by the way, is now veterans who won. Lieutenant, yes, something up, going points here. Sherman heading westwards. Looking to head off any harassment in the west. Good work there by von Clausewitz. Very good battlefield management. Have to move back up. Bsky Revolution there go charging ahead with the Orbison. The light machine gun firing off at the Americans. Still some time before Bsky Revolution calling any armour. I imagine he's going to go for the Panzer IV, though he might want to consider a Panther at some point, or at least a Jagdpanzer, then back up the Panzer IV. Because the odds are increasingly looking like he's going to be facing down a Pershing at some point, at which point Panzer IVs, while they can do it, won't necessarily do it super efficiently and will require a lot more work to really get to work. Since they will really need to sort of consistently flank the Pershing, which continues to be backed up by a lot of bazookas, does mean that's going to be a bit of a hazard. So Jagdpanzer, Panther with better penetrative abilities will probably be the long-term better idea there. And of course, there's the possibility from Clausewitz for some reason goes rifle or airborne at this stage. I mean, it's not impossible, but it does obviously seem unlikely. And a tank grenade rifle off against the looks. Back here, troops in reinforcement. We see that Bsky Revolution is forced to rush out its troops in some cases, not fully combat ready condition. Germany calls, and Germany doesn't have time to wait for the doctor to get his job done. There you go, got a rifle up against Vonclausewitz. Good work there. But he's starting to really earn victory points. Got the 5th caliber setting up, the Sturm Punch opening up. There you go, machine gun there being shredded by the Obersoldaten. The light machine gun there outdoing the 50 caliber. Ja, na, this is eine Maschinengewehr. That is American Scheiße. Are you sure, Ludwig? That looks pretty effective. Shut up, Dietrich. Now the 5th caliber opening up in the half track. 5th McCann there doing some good work. They're almost taking that, and the West Germans not actually pushing as hard as he can. He might be worried about what Kevin was hiding about, but either way, the half tick goes down. A big win here for Bsky Revolution on 388th. Does remove a major obstacle for his infantry. Now there's just the Sherman. And of course, with the half track gone, Vonclausewitz could end up keeping the Sherman close to the rest of his forces. Though he's bringing up, not cancels it. Are we finally going to see the Pershing move, or are we going to see an easy 8? Another Goliath for Bsky Revolution. Herr Hauptmann, maybe we should go for something else, like, I don't know, mines or some munitions for some really cool defensive ability. Nine, we need Goliaths. We need Goliaths. All of them. They're not working out. Herr Hauptmann, I don't care. Also, they need to fall back pretty schnell. Also, could try and harass him in the west, I guess. But yeah, I think Vonclausewitz now is aiming for the Pershing. Looks like they're approaching Veteran 3. We got the Folks MD34 sitting up as well. Pullman eastwards, very slowly. And Folks of the Club's being wiped out. And there you go. Pop goes the Weasel as they get shredded. Still keeping the Goliath too close to the rest of the forces though, Bsky. Way too close. No, it does go for the Jackson instead. The M36 Jackson tank destroyer. Which was based off the Sherman chassis, as a fun fact. Most of the American tank destroyers, except the one based on the half tank and the one for the Hellcat, the M18, were based on the Sherman chassis. Fun fact. That's the M10 and the M36 Jackson, really. Trying to escape with the Goliath. There's Shimpulse Rush from Major here in the west. Very good. Bsky can soon go for the Panzer IV, though again, Yak Panzer Panther might be a slightly more effective choice. There, Sherman getting blasted. He's shot, though, bounces off. Second shot misses. And Rearson's there almost getting murdered by their own tank. There you go, M36 Jackson now with its 90mm high velocity gun, and of course its open top turret to make more room for the crew, and of course allow them better vision. We got the option there as the rifleman with MD34 and look support, and we got the Sherman up the shoots and misses or fails to penetrate due to flying high explosive rounds. Got the Jackson moving up, another shot that goes through. Okay, now if there's actually ready here, but it's nowhere near where it's going to be needed. Puma lands hitting the Jackson, flanking it, very good. Getting eventually 2 needs to roll back with the Puma though. Another hit, another hit. Jackson misses. Pretty lucky there for Bsky Revolution and the German army. And he does go for the Panzer IV here. He does commit to the Panzerkampfwagen 4. Got the Western victory point. He's down to 126 versus Vonclausewitz's 423. Certainly a bit of a difference there. I was about to say statistical difference because it sounded cool. But obviously, any sort of cursory glance at that sentence will of course realise it's complete and utter nonsense. So stop myself. Unit wiped again, and this time the Obersoldaten bit the dust. Bsky Revolution is going to need to replace these infantry losses. They are not looking very good. Obersoldaten will be good as long as it doesn't get them killed again. At least tries harder to ensure they do not get killed. Now come over to the firing. I know, of course, that Bsky Revolution has no artillery zone, no lightest infantry biscuits, or anything like that. And that's it with Morton singing out the full Canadian squad. On the east, we got the Sherman moving up slowly. And Puma, they ready to resist. Gets a penetrating hit there. Very good, very good. Second shot misses. Morbs on the way there for Bsky Revolution and the 388th. There we go. Panther mobilised. Jackson moving up, going to flank here the Puma. Gets a good hit. Panther could try and flank the Jackson instead, ends up blocking the way with the Kettenheffer as well. There we go. One penetrating the Jackson. Jackson gets returned here on the Panzerkampfwagen 4. 400 points left for Vonclausewitz, 126 for Bsky Revolution. The size of the difference between the two continues. Puma being fixed up. And flares pops. Jump on, he's marching in. And there we go, he'll be easily cleaning out the Major. Just because he's got a higher rank does not mean he's bulletproof. I hope. Bountiful falling back, and there you go from Vonclausewitz there by with Heavy Cavalry. I mean, we pretty much knew that's where it's going to end. I mean, no one's going to say a doctrine for that long and not go for the one with a big tank in it in most cases. I mean, there's always going to be the exception to the rule, but like in 95% of the cases, they're always going to end up with the doctrine with a really big tank. That's pretty much a rule you can sort of just, you know, write down in your notebook. Orbital on the way there for Bsky Revolution, so he's bringing up more. Very good, very good. Another rule you can write down is in 95% of all cases, the Imperial Dane is always right. And the other 5% of cases, is occasionally right. Jackson, that's like Kettenheffer. And we got a trial on the way. That's going to be the Battle Group headquarters. Might be planning a King Tiger, might be planning something else. Or just, you know, wants to get healing for his troops. Maybe like infantry gun. I mean, the artillery could prove helpful here. Tons of manpower being put from Clausewitz. He could consider fighting positions, caches, rangers, lots of things that really don't think than floating 1,000 manpower there, to be honest. Goliath pops up, we got the orbital move forwards. Machine flying coming fine, there you go. Lots of hits in the Panzer IV from the Jackson. The M36 got the Sherman backing up. This rocket running a bit hard. They were just rushing the Jackson. Another hit, the Panzer IV was down. Sherman down to less than half health. Puma there, by the way, closing the Metchney 3, which would be pretty great for it. If it gets that far, but needs to fall back. There you go, Metchney 3 gained. Smoke's been popped. I don't know if they had those type of smoke discharges in the Puma, since I believe by that spot they would have been largely, I think, discontinued. As it turns out, those caught on fire. More likely they'd had the Fertigungswaffe, which was sort of more of an internal sort of bit with a flare pistol that could basically fire different types of rounds. There's a rather small hatch in the top of the tank. I believe that's what you, for example, see on the Panzer IV there. I believe that is the Fertigungswaffe. The base sort of just fire either a flare, a smoke round, or could say a small high explosive round. That way, it'll deal with different sorts of situations. Little fun fact. Little fun fact. Who's moving up there? We got the 5th car being flanked by the Ranger. We got Thompson on the way there, the Chicago Typewriter.
Points are down to 300.
Swiftly seizing points. Panzer IVs. Puma being fixed up. The Thompson was a very powerful submachine gun firing a 45 caliber round, but it was a heavy submachine gun and an expensive submachine gun to make as well. So they basically ended up looking out for alternatives. The Russians also weren't too keen on it, mostly because the rounds were really big, and that meant that the average third infantryman could not carry a lot of rounds for it, which was basically their biggest concern. Jackson integrated in the Panzer IV. machine gun lost, was trying to rush for it, but the problem is that right in front of the Lieutenant again, he's got double BRs plus the Thompson. I mean, that was just a wipe. Easy. I mean, he just threw away manpower there. Either way, he loses the machine gun to Vonclausewitz. I mean, eventually 3 Lieutenant with double bars is an absolute beast on the battlefield and can pretty much win most engagements single-handedly. And should not be underestimated. Also unsecured the western point, noting no light machine guns for any of his Obersoldaten. Battle group headquarters up, medics soon done. Luke's being repaired there. Half 8 to 4. Showing the engaged by the Puma. Lands a good hit with his 15mm gun. Ooh, Jackson misses. Handful prime coming fire for the mächtige Obersoldaten. And there you go, Vonclausewitz can pull in the Pershing. That's going to require a Panther or a Jagdpanzer here from Bsky Revolution in 388th. That's the 14th Armored. Calls in the big guns. With big armour, because the Jackson's got the same gun technically. That's a fun fact. Okay, another flank in the Jackson, very good. Steel Pioneers almost right up with the rifle, but barely survives. Puma hit caught though by the Sherman and the Persian moving in. The veteran for the Puma though, good hit. But the Persian gets off an even better hit, and the Puma there gets caught in the terrain, and that's not going to be it for that one. Puma kaput. Great push there by Vonclausewitz. Those tanks are being sent in there with minimal armor support, which is a bit risky. Though right now I don't think Bsky Revolution has a lot to punish it. Again, I think he's been focusing too much on the Goliaths and not enough on mines. Well, upgrades for Obersoldaten. But yeah, he's saving up fuel here, so it's going to be either the Panther, the Jagdpanzer, or he could try and stall for a King Tiger. There's the Pershing, a Jagdpanzer, or Jackson, and a Sherman stalling for a King Tiger could prove to be a bit more than Bsky Revolution and the 388th can actually sort of withstand. But I could be proven wrong here. I could be proven wrong. But it's going to be risky though. It's going to be very risky, and it's not something I recommend the average player to try and do. Pershing hanging back. Should get some infantry support in. The arms supports will make a big push. Maybe combine it with some off-map smoke barrages or combined arms. Really good ability, which I feel like a lot of American players just overlook. Great hit here on the looks by the Jackson. Rifling something hits from the bomb grenade and the looks, and there goes Pershing out on the flank. Steel Pioneers quickly find the silent on the side, and there you go. Half health, one man gauntlet. Kevin open up, bounces off the Pershing's armor as Vonclausewitz strikes. In the West, Bazooka team there versus the Panther fought in the open, they're quite exposed. We got the Obersoldaten as well there, going for it. No smoke off here from, I believe, Vonclausewitz. Since Bsky Revolution has got absolutely no way of deploying smoke, so it's, I mean, unless there's some sort of third invisible force firing smoke randomly, I mean, it's pretty obvious who's the smoke thrower there. Machine Plan can't find, there you go. Excellent hit from the Panther 4. Takes out almost the entire Ranger squad. And there you go, Pershing strikes in. Kennemer shoots, bounces, falls there. Sadly, oh, went one man down, exact same machine gun crew, but anyway, one man lives to tell the tale. Bsky can soon go for the Panther, but we'll see if he does go for that. He does go for the King Tiger instead. Does he commit to the heaviest of heavy, or does he commit to the slightly less heavy but still pretty effective armor? He does go for the Panther. He does not decide to stall for the King Tiger, which would be quite risky. Could give Vonclausewitz more time to bring up stuff to deal with it. I'm obviously still going to be somewhat risky with the Panther in some ways, but the Panther does have some advantages. Partly the price, the speed, and the range, where it does have slightly better range than the King Tiger, which, particularly with the Jackson ring about, could in fact prove to be the crucial edge. So we'll see what it ends up with either way. Everything is now banking on that Panther here for Bsky Revolution. Can he handle it? Can he do it? Sherman with 22 kills, Veteran 2. Veteran 4 for the looks, and we got the Pershing ring in there. Panther almost done here, and there go direct hit on the Pershing by the Kidnapper. Puts another 8 hit on the rocket, they make the attempt, there you go. Punches through the armor as well. Another penetrating hit, they're really good luck there for Bsky Revolution in the west. Panther 4 versus Jackson. Veteran 2 on the Panther 4. 100 points left for Bsky Revolution, and the 380 Volkskondition needs to get together. And there you go, Panther moving out for Germany, Deutschland. Looking for targets with which to obliterate with the high velocity gun. Can find the Jackson, there we go, good hit, good hit. Might have a chance of taking it out permanently as long as it doesn't get any nasty surprises in. There we go, another hit there on the Jackson, almost got it, shown by with high explosive rounds, need to switch rounds. And oh! Can't quite catch up with it and take out the Jackson. Still does push Vonclausewitz arm all the way back to his bases. The Panther is clearly a threatening presence, and just a threat here for Vonclausewitz to deal with, highlighting the power of German engineering. And it's probably balanced. Here's another way there for Vonclausewitz up repair, because he's got he's got one spot, but he wants it to go faster to assist in the swift return of the Pershing to the battlefield. Obviously, Bsky wants that time with the Panther as well. Of course, the repair pioneers will help, but the actual pioneers will also do a bunch and getting that Panther fully functional, because the faster he gets that back, the better. 95 points left here versus the 246. He has been able to close the gap a bit here between him and the Yankees. So there you go, hard work on the Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen 5, the Model A in this case. There were basically 3 major models of the Panther. There was the D, the A, and the G in that order, by the way. The D was the first model, then came the A, and then finally the G model. Technically, though, by 1944-45, it was late 1945, there's largely been the Model Gs, though there were still Ds that saw usage in several cases. For example, in one case, I think in the Eastern Front, there was the 11th SS Panzer Division Nordland was actually able to, they got a bunch of Panthers Model Ds as opposed to users like, dug-in tanks because they couldn't get them to move. But the 11th actually got them to move and actually formed up their own Panther unit from all of those Model D Panthers. And they actually brought them all the way to Berlin. But like, by late stage of war, the Model G would have been the most common. It also had a few advantages. Whereas you can sort of note here on the Panther, it's sort of rounded out there. It actually meant there was a chance of shots being deflected at the top of the armour. The Model G would actually have a small chin, if you will, sort of in short, they could not be deflected in there. It also did not have a hatch down the front for the driver, so that was overall more structurally safe. Little fun fact about the Panther. 95 there versus 211 in the west of the Germans forced to give way here in the face of a big push here from Clausewitz, infantry smoke and everything there being launched. In the east, the Sturm Pioneers with full support farms around. There go with grenades up. Oh, he almost got. Oh, he took the bait there from Clausewitz. Pioneers here for Bsky Revolution. Nicely wiped the Sturm Pioneers. Panther there feel like could be a bit more active for Bsky Revolution, though of course he might be waiting for the Panther to make its move. In the west, he's just been collapsed as from Clausewitz fell off a nice flank. And folks are being utterly annihilated by the Pershing as well. But there you go, Panther to the rescue, and now we see a bit of a problem here from Clausewitz. While he's making the big push here, maybe hoping to just draw a bit of attention away from the east and sneak in the Pershing. Instead, he now gets caught here by Bsky Revolution, who's explicitly waiting for the Pershing to move here and then get into the Panther. Another good hit there. Could possibly try to pursue, but he says not to fully go in there. Might risk he pushes too far, and then the flank gets exposed and cut off, and then he's in trouble still. Good move there with the Panther. Punished here from Clausewitz to pull it too far hit with his Pershing, but there's still a long way to go for Bsky Revolution. There's still a long way to go. Ken with Leonard in the Sherman. Panther moving up against the Jackson, flanking it. Panther needs to get in there. Go, good hit, good hit. Looks just the re-echelons. Another hit there, another hit. Back here, Panther receiving repairs. And the re-echelons actually dropped a bazooka there thanks to Big Thumbs Tom. Known because he's got big thumbs and he doesn't know how to use them. God damn it, Big Thumbs Tom. Now you're dead and we dropped the bazooka, you idiot. Panther 4 flying away there, close to Veteran 3. Another Panther 4 Bsky Revolution. Feeling like he's got enough there with one Panther. Oh, he cancels it. Maybe he decides he actually does want 2 Panthers. I like that. Yeah. There's a saying that goes, a man who has 2 Panthers has 2 Panthers. It's a very good saying, very accurate. And there you go, he can more or less go for the Panther right about now. We'll see if he does go for it. But 2 Panthers would very much put some pressure on the Pershing and any Jacksons. For the most part. Or is he saying up for the King Tiger now? I'd say that's a bit ambitious, but I suppose got theoretically way out. Luke's trying to escape, getting hunted down by the Sherman and wrecked. A Sherman by the way up there for Vonclausewitz, very nice to see. He's going to try and flank here, he's going to try and catch him as he tries to escape here with the Panther. Bit risky this because he doesn't know what's on the flanks of the Panther here, but I can still see it working. And he does end up with the 2nd Panther. So we're going to see double Panthers here from Bsky Revolution. Panther moving up here, there you go. Lucien shoots, bounces off the Pershing front line, a bit of bad luck there for the Panther. Ooh, close one, the Fox is not quite. Panther shoots, bounces. Bazooka fire on the Panther, we got the Panther moving up, closing on the veteran variations. They need to be careful out in the open. You might want to consider more pressure on the right flank. I mean, he's sort of focusing very heavily on one smaller part of the map there, which does mean the rest of the map's actually much more free here for Bsky Revolution, which allows him to concentrate much better. But there you go. 2nd Panther out. That's double Panthers. Though there's going to be double Jacks, but he's actually at full pop cap, so... Well, he could theoretically of course just pop the Crot on the other Jacks, and that would probably make room for the other one. You can probably do it with the ambulance. But he's actually still in a full head with now 101. Double Panthers good to go here for Bsky Revolution. I just need to get them moving and shooting some Yankees. There you go, the sound of the Panthers revving up the engines. Moving forwards for Deutschland. Oh, he's about to lose his orbital turn. That I think would be quite a costly loss here. He's setting up for something, I think. He's either going to engage him head on, he might be trying to flank, or he might be trying to expect an assault in the east. It's hard to say exactly what's going on here. But there you go, Pershing forward is going to push out to the east now, and there you go, straight into the line of fire, the double Panthers, more or less. Pershing falls back as it's unrealised there's a Panther about there. Showing up the east side. Oh, moves ahead again. Lots of bazooka teams. Panther takes away from the Panther. Machine gun wiped out. Sounds a little bit rough here for Bsky Revolution. Reaction moving forward straight into the Panther. Force line of fire. There you go. Between feet gained on it. Big advance in the east. Bsky Revolution forced to give way here in the face of Vonclausewitz' unrelenting assault. Should probably have the Panthers lead the assault, not the veteran 3 Panzer Force, since the Panthers do have better armour and more health. And so can actually afford to spearhead better than the Panzer IV. But no, seems like he's going to use the Panzer IV here, which is going to move straight to line fire. Jackson takes an unsurprisingly big hit. 74 points left here. Needs to do something drastic here to think turn things around. He is otherwise going to lose very swiftly. Clearing out the big point, that Panther hit shot penetrates, going for the Jackson there, probably the best choice, but no, goes shot off from the Panther for Pershing as well. Panther already less than half health. Not good, they ground the western weak point, centre one being rendered neutral. He should probably consider some more Sturmpanzers to assist with the repairs of his tanks, because he's got a Panther 1, a Panther now in need of repairs. Machine gun then moving back to the Rangers, getting her closer here.
The capture point is under attack.
Point there secured, point there secured. Good from the Panther on the Sherman. Since 2, we got more forces on the way there for Bsky Revolution. His forces hanging back. Panthers still need repairs. 50 points left here. .50 points left, 48 points. I mean, one option he considers actually trying to move up for it and then flanking up behind, trying to catch most of Vonclausewitz's armoured forces off guard. He can sort of make a surprise assault there with all of his armour attacking at the same time. There's a chance he could do some, I think, critical damage to them and get rid of the Jackson. Then can sort of mostly focus down the Pershing. Right now, I would say the Jackson's probably his bigger threat, but now he commits the head-on assault again. I mean, without a smoke screen, I'd definitely not recommend that. I would definitely not recommend that. Just expose himself to too much fire. Clausen will attack from the expected direction, which of course means there's going to be no real shock element there. Whereas they're going to be attacks from an unexpected angle. It's going to surprise it from Clausewitz. Plus, it's going to force him to redirect all of his armor to reposition to deal with it. And that could also give him some more time to get some good hits. Whereas if he attacks head on, the gun's already pointing in the direction he's going to be attacking from. That means he's just going to need to get shot at right away. It seems like here Bsky Revolution is getting himself a bit from tunnel vision. Again, I think gaining actually 3 Panther probably back there for repairs in the west point. That makes secure. We got Orbs and they're pulling off a grenade. Oh, now negative cover, so the range is also pretty close. There you go, grenade off. Range is almost there, but not quite. 33 versus on the 91. Very close bit before then the Panzer IV. But it seems like a bit of an impasse. And there we go, Sherman on the west far side, isolated. Could be a chance here for Bsky Revolution to take out the tank. With this armour, if he reacts fast enough. Pershing in the east, dealing with the Volksgrenadiers. Bsky Revolution is seemingly strong here to dig himself from a position and dig himself into. There's there versus the Panther IV. Trying to get some hits, but seemingly can't hit with every shot it's firing. There we go, Between 4 gained, Between 4 gained. Oh dear, he's going to lose the... no aim for support there, Bazooka team just wiped it. Got the Panther, got the Jackson nearby. Good hit then, the Jackson by the Panther, Between 2 gained, shoots up, Orbs on pushing through the centre here. Penetrating hit there from Jackson, the Panther now appears when by there from the Jackson. Panther takes another hit there. Troops healing reinforcing. Another Jackson out there finally here for Vonclausewitzz. At this stage, it seems like Bsky Revolution, I think, is in a bad spot. Like, he might have a chance to promise the way he's wielding his forces tactically is incredibly inefficient. Like, he's just bolting straight ahead then into Vonclausewitz's waiting guns. There's no attempt like getting the element of surprise. And that pretty much means he's just going to take penetrating hits in most cases straight on, which of course decreases his chance of actually doing something long enough here to really take him out. But there you go, contact going on. Jackson into the Kendall Sherman as well. He might have a chance, he might also lose a Panther here. Sherman down. Oh dear, maybe from Clausewitz, so send him face from Bsky Revolution. There we go. Got the Jackson, got the Sherman. Both Panthers still bad spot. He still needs some more Sturm Pioneers, but that's actually a sizable loss there for Vonclausewitzz. He's down to just a Sherman and a Jackson, although he can replace them pretty quickly. But still, that I think was a bit of an overreach there by Vonclausewitzz in the face of Bsky Revolution. So there might still be a chance he can win after Vonclausewitzz basically just threw away significant parts of his armoured force. But that, I'm not entirely sure he was hoping to achieve that with that, to be honest. Though he's down to 34, so I mean, he can still easily win, but still that is a gap. That might be something he can exploit there. But he just still needs the Panthers fixed up fast. We got Between 5 again. That's pretty good. Oh, Pershing moving in front of it. There we go. Penetrating hit on the Pershing. Got the Veteran Panther almost done. Range moving up. Flare goes off. Fult's going to be advancing rather than sneaking up here. Heading for the east, very good. But yeah, overall, Bsky's chances still looking pretty weak, even with those armored destructions. He's just not quite putting towards it. Again, the lack of the Sturmpanzers means he's got no real way of quickly fixing up his armoured pool, which is what he needs. He needs those tanks back as fast as possible, but he can't get them back as fast as possible. Down to 32 versus Vonclausewitz under 56. There you go, forced to dispatch the Panther. Eastern midpoint secured there by the German army. 25 points left here. Good from the Jackson there and the Panthers frontal armour. Kedneff moving up, right from the infantry. I think at this stage Bsky doesn't quite care. There we go, Panther got the Jackson down to half the onslaught of Kedneff. Almost got it. There we go. Damage engine also moving in, but they can't really stop it. They're still on help themselves. So Kevin needs to retreat. He's going to lose the veteran, the 5, the hero like Kedneff. Nope. Yeah, he lost it. Other Panther moving forwards, but it's just going to be enough units being wiped left and right and centre here. It's just turning into a massive for Bsky Revolution, and the 88th folks going to be shown. Grenades going off, folks, and getting blasted. 9 points left. 6. 3. Got GG well played there. 1 point left, and that's 70 GG. Their game over. A victory for America, freedom, democracy. A loss here for the German army. The 58th is forced to fall back despite ample armoured reinforcements. They were not able to hold the area. A bloody battle right here on Crossing in the Woods with heavy casualties on both sides. But in the end, Vonclausewitz pulled through. I think Bsky Revolution, it's an extent, suffered from tunnel vision, which didn't help him out. Also, I think he spent too many munitions trying to make the Goliaths work when he really wasn't using them that efficient anyways. No mines. It's time too late to upgrade the Overwatch. I do think a light infantry gun here would help. But also I think just putting out some really great flanks with the Panthers would have been a much more impactful here versus Vonclausewitz run these head-on assaults, which just really minimise the impact of whatever he'll be able to do. So some food for thought there. But I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Share it with everyone. Share it with the world. If you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links in the video description. Every little bit helps me to keep making videos day after day, so do consider. This is Imperial Link signing off. See you all another time for another video. Cheers.